Trying to balance the demands of family, work, or education, as well as media pressure to look and eat a certain way, can make maintaining a healthy diet challenging for any woman. However, the right food can help to not only improve mood, increase stamina, and maintain a healthy weight, but it can also help navigate the various stages of a woman's life. Many women are susceptible to overlooking their dietary requirements. They may feel they are too busy to eat well, or they are accustomed to prioritizing their family needs over their own. Boys and girls have similar dietary requirements when they are children. However, as puberty progresses, women's dietary needs change. As they get older and their bodies go through more physical and hormonal changes, their nutritional needs change as well, so their diets must change to keep up. Although women need fewer calories than men, they have far higher requirements for certain vitamins and minerals. Women are at higher risk of anemia, of weakened bones, and osteoporosis because of hormonal changes associated with menstruation, childbearing, and menopause, necessitating a higher intake of nutrients. These include iron, calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, and folate, which is also known as vitamin B9. Today's case study is about the diet of a 37-year-old woman who works full-time, studies full-time, and is a full-time mum. I will look at her current BMI, which is body mass index, her diet, and if necessary, propose a way for her to improve her dietary habits and overall health. I requested my participant to complete a questionnaire regarding their eating habits, nutrition, and body measurements. I also required them to complete a 24-hour food recall and a 3-day food diary. A 24-hour food recall is a quick method of recording the information of meals and beverages ingested in the previous 24 hours. A 24-hour food recall has the advantage of providing detailed information on the previous day's entire dietary intake. The element of surprise may reduce the likelihood of changes in food consumption because of having to record a food intake. It has a low participation burden as well. A 24-hour food recall has the disadvantage of not being ideal for assessing distant previous meals or irregularly consumed items, and forgetting items is a regular mistake. A 24-hour food recall does not account for day-to-day variations, and it misses out on irregularly consumed items. With my participant, I discovered that it was simple and a quick way to record what she had consumed as data. However, it is tough to see a definite eating pattern when you cannot tell if the products eaten were an exception or something they eat frequently. A 3-day food diary is a short-term method in which the participant records all food and drinks taken over 3 days. The amount of food consumed might be calculated using household measurements or weighed at home by the participant. The advantages are that it offers precise information on all food and drink consumption, as well as descriptions of portion sizes, allowing for accurate short-term estimates of total nutritional intake. It allows for the capture of contextual data such as meal timing, eating location, why the meal was eaten, and with whom it was eaten. When being completed, there is little reliance on memory, and misreporting is minimized by entering the data as they go. The disadvantage of a 3-day diary is that it may not be finished because sometimes it is difficult to remember to fill it in as your food is consumed. There is a higher burden on the participant to complete the diary, and there is every chance that the participant may complete it as a food recall and not as a diary. My participant found it simple to complete on the go, except for when at work. However, she brings her lunch to work, and has her scheduled break times, so it was simple to do before she left or when she returned home. It was easier to track her eating habits over this longer time frame of 3 days. The recording of dietary information was paramount to understanding what my participant eats on a regular basis to understand her habits and schedule. Due to being at work, having a paper copy to write down what she ate was impractical, and due to human error, there could have been food measurement discrepancies in the diary. To save time, unfortunately, my participant guessed the amount that was consumed. It would have been more accurate to utilise scales and proper measuring tools. Some nutrients may have been eliminated during the cooking process, which is difficult to track also. A phone app would have been a terrific tool for recording what was eaten, how much was consumed, how it was cooked, and by doing this, eliminate human error and in result, have a more accurate record. The one-day food recall was not helpful, as the recall was for a Monday public holiday and was not what she ordinarily did. If I had to work on that alone, it would have been an inaccurate representation of her diet. The 3-day food diary gave me a more complete picture of her everyday life and what she would normally eat. This did not tell me, however, what her eating habits were over a weekend. A weekend can play a big part in someone's dietary intake. I would have liked to have done another 3-day food diary over a weekend, or maybe a food recall of a Saturday or a Sunday. This would have given more of a complete picture of what a week would look like. From the data collected, I learnt that she works in a school and eats when there is recess and lunch breaks. She mostly eats the same food for recess and lunch every day. However, her dinners, since she is a mum to young children, she must cater for them also. Not only does she work full-time and is a mum, she also studies full-time. Finding time to spend cooking nutritious meals is not a priority. Quick, easy meals that everyone will eat is a priority. The following table shows the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating recommended daily intake for a female in the age group 19 to 50 years. As you can see, my participant does not eat enough vegetables, whole grains, dairy, and drink enough water. She also eats too many discretionary foods. Vegetables can help lower blood pressure, prevent heart disease and stroke, prevent some types of cancer, reduce the risk of eye and digestive problems, and have a good influence on blood sugar, which can help control the appetite. Bruising easy can be a side effect if you don't eat enough vegetables. It can also cause fatigue and anemia. The body may lack the defences it needs to create free radical fighters against diseases. Lutein, a nutrient that has been demonstrated in early study to improve learning and memory, is also found in vegetables, as is potassium, which may help to avoid muscle cramps. When consuming whole grains, all 3 layers of the grain is eaten: the bran, endosperm, and the germ. This means a lot more of the grain's fibre, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants are digested. Some disorders, such as coronary heart disease, colon cancer, diabetes, and diverticular disease, can be reduced by eating whole grain cereals and meals. Grain foods, particularly whole grains, include fibre that aids in the correct functioning of your digestive system. Fibre gives the sensation of feeling fuller for longer after you eat, which helps to maintain a healthy weight. Adequate fibre intake can help decrease cholesterol, reduce constipation, and maintain a healthy blood sugar level. Bone is chewed up faster than it is created beyond the age of 30. Calcium is the best approach to strengthen the body. Dairy is also one of the best calcium sources, since the body absorbs calcium from dairy better than any other food. Not eating enough dairy could set the stage for osteoporosis and fractures. According to the Australian Dietary Guideline, cheese, milk, and yogurt consumption is associated to a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and colon cancer, which are some of Australia's leading causes of death. Drinking plenty of water is also essential for good health. It maintains the body's hydration. Dehydration occurs when not enough water is ingested, resulting in headaches and dizziness. Dehydration weakens the immune system. Therefore, those who take caffeinated beverages should drink an additional glass of water for each one consumed. Water aids in the lubrication of joints, the delivery of oxygen throughout the body, the improvement of skin health, the regulation of body temperature, the flushing of waste, the maintenance of blood pressure, and the accessibility of minerals and nutrients, and the prevention of kidney damage. Discretionary foods are high in kilojoules and low in essential nutrients. They provide excess energy intake, leading to weight gain and contribute to the development of chronic health conditions. Discretionary choices are higher in saturated fats, added sugars and salts, which can contribute to diet-related chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. If my participant continues to eat in this manner, she may develop some of the negative consequences of a poor diet: osteoporosis, constipation, obesity, diabetes, depression, poor wound healing, anemia, adult acne, brittle nails, a weakened immune system, and poor oral health are just a few examples. But she is also at a high risk of developing heart disease and cancer. The recommendation for my participant should be to consume more vegetables and limit her intake of white grains. She could do this by having a quick breakfast of a vegetable smoothie before school. In the morning, she only has a limited amount of time to get the kids and herself to school. This move will boost her vegetable consumption while reducing the amount of white toast she consumes for breakfast. At lunch, she can switch from a white to a whole grain wrap, which will eliminate another white grain and replace it with a whole grain, which is richer in fibre. She might also omit the rice crackers and replace them with a low-fat yogurt for her morning tea. This allows her to eliminate a discretionary item while increasing her dairy intake. Cutting out the sugar in her tea would also be a simple solution. Another adjustment should be to reduce the amount of discretionary foods consumed. Replace them with a healthy alternative such as nuts or seeds, vegetable sticks, or a dairy snack. Drinking extra water should also be included to her daily routine. By carrying a water bottle at school, she will be reminded to drink it. She can be a little bit more casual with what she eats for dinner if she can make these changes during the day, especially when at home at night she has limited time and must prepare meals for her kids. Adding grated vegetables to sauces or meat recipes could be an easy way to sneak vegetables into the evening dinners. Before beginning the food recall and diary, I took anthropometric measurements of my participant. Her height is 175 centimetres and her weight is 85 kilos. BMI, known as Body Mass Index, is a weight for height calculation that determines whether an adult is at healthy weight, underweight, overweight, or obese. The BMI calculates the risk of acquiring weight-related diseases by estimating the total body fat as a percentage of the total body weight. The BMI is computed by multiplying the weight by the square of the height. According to this calculation, my participant's BMI is 27.8, putting them in the overweight category. Because the individual is overweight, she is more likely to develop health problems, as well as emotional and social issues. When it comes to diet, it is crucial to know BMI so that the advice given is appropriate for the weight range. The food record of my participant, a 37-year-old woman, reveals that she does not consume enough vegetables, whole grains, dairy, or water. She also consumes too many discretionary foods. Her BMI, which is currently overweight, is most likely due to her current diet. It is important for her to achieve a weight in the healthy weight range. I will encourage her to eat to the daily guidelines in the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating. There is plenty more to diet than just eating well, including getting enough sleep and exercising. It might be difficult to find time for herself as a busy woman. However, it is essential that the first step is to eat well. If she can make some adjustments, it's a step in the right direction for a healthier life and being a positive health role model to her children.